Hello everyone, welcome to Ekeeda platform, and this is Ravin Jangid here, your electrical faculty. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the drawbacks of EPC schemes. So we have already discussed about the IPC and the EPC schemes, and there was the related drawbacks in the IPC scheme, that was the harmonics. Okay, and then we have come up with the advanced technology, that is the EPC scheme. We have already discussed about all the concepts related with the EPC scheme. Now we will talk about what are the actually drawbacks of the EPC scheme, then why, and then we are moving for the another you can say the controlling schemes we will discuss in the next lecture. Now I will talk about the drawbacks of the EPC scheme. So I will start with this first point, that is saying that although the EPC scheme has replaced the IPC scheme, it is saying that we have already replaced the EPC scheme with the IPC scheme, but that is in the modern, but still having the certain limitations. It is having the certain limitation. That is the first, and we have the two limitations which are written. First is that under the unbalanced condition. What is the unbalanced condition? That is when the impedances are not equal, the currents, the summation of the currents are not equal to 0. So that is called the unbalanced condition. That is IA plus IB plus IC is not equal to 0. That is the unbalanced condition. Then this EPC results in a lesser DC voltage compared to the IPC. So if I compared with the EPC schemes, then whatever the voltage will come is lesser as compared to the IPC. So that is actually disadvantages. So what is the disadvantages of that? Because if we are having the less voltage, so there may be a chances of the LG fault also in the AC system. So we are also take care of that. So under this condition, it is desired to maximize the DC power transfer to the link. So at this condition, we have to do what we have to do. If there is LG fault, then we can do that the DC power transfer to the links should be maximized, so that whatever the voltage is decreased, that can be maintained as per the requirements, which calls for the IPC. So that is a kind of the IPC technology. So we will generally prefer at that time the IPC. But the thing is that if the system is in the running condition and we are operating in the EPC schemes, we can transfer to the IPC schemes, but that transition should be so smooth that there should not be any faulty conditions at that time. So I can say the transitions from the EPC to IPC. Now we will move for the point number 2. The point number 2 is saying there may have the negative damping contribution. What type of contribution? The negative damping contribution. That remember these points, because these are actually should be written in your academics. To the torsional oscillations. To the torsional oscillations. When the HVDC is the measured the transmission link, okay, from the thermal stations. But the problem is actually not so serious. Why? Because if we compare this problem of the EPC and with the IPC is actually the harmonics, non-characteristic harmonics. That is actually the more disadvantageous to use. So these are actually the drawbacks of the EPC schemes. So I hope you have understood the related topics of drawback of EPC schemes. So tata bye bye and thank you.